This video is part of a presentation I'm doing showing ideas for how to get started introducing a Kafka event backbone into your existing application environment. In this last demo, I'm going to show how you can easily get events from the event backbone to be pushed out to other apps and systems as notifications. Now, for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to use Slack as an example of somewhere to send a notification, but just pretend that's any external system or app that you might want to receive notifications about events. Now, the events I'm going to use are the ones from the first demo that I did, where I'm getting events for changes from things in GitHub being pushed to my Kafka topic called GitHub Events. Just to remind you, in case you didn't see that demo, what that looks like, anytime I change anything in this GitHub repo, if I commit that change, I get a new event showing up on my Kafka topic with details of that change. Yep, there we go, that showed up. And if I click on that, I can see stuff like who made the change, what the new commit ID was, that sort of thing. Like the commit ID there, I can see after it's changed to that CE723, which is the commit that I just made. So what I want to do is see how to push those events into some external system. So I'm going to use App Connect to do this. I'm going to do that just using the UI to create a new event-driven flow. So this is going to be about sending out notifications about GitHub changes. So I'm going to call my flow GitHub change notifications. The events are going to come from Kafka, so I'll just find my Kafka cluster here, and I want it to happen every time there's a new message. So I just need to choose the topic, and it was that github.events topic, which is there. Right, now if you remember from my first demo, I told the connector to post in JSON form. So what I need to do is parse that JSON, so I'm going to add that in the middle there. So what I want it to parse is the payload of the message that it's taken from the Kafka topic. So I'll just choose payload there. And to set up the schema to help it parse it, it's easier to do that with an example. So if I go back to my topic and get the most recent message I just generated, if I copy that to the clipboard, come back here and paste it in there, then I can use that to generate a schema. So now I can refer to all the different fields that GitHub sends when there's been a change. So things like the commit ID, the details of the user who submitted it, all that sort of thing. So now that I have my event, I want to send it somewhere. And like I said, I'm going to use Slack for this demo, but really you could choose your system. So I want it to create a message every time there's been a change in GitHub. So I just need to choose the Slack channel where I want it to post. And I've got a channel I use for these kind of demo things called demo. And I can define the message I want it to send. So I'm going to write something a bit friendly. So I'll say there's been a new commit. But I want to include fields from the message. So the commit ID is a nice one to include. So I remember from the schema that was called after, so I can choose that field. And let's put the user ID in as well. So I can say it was submitted by, and there was a username field I saw when we were looking. Yep, there we go. Oh, there's a few to choose from. I'm going to go with the one for the head commit. There we go. That's the username for the author of the head commit. So that sort of is the template for the message I want. So now I start my flow, takes us, yep, there we go, it's running. So now it's time to test it. So I'll put these side by side so you can see the message come in. So that's my Slack channel there. I'm just going to make another change in GitHub. So what I'm doing here is when I make a change in GitHub, GitHub has been configured, and that was in my first demo, to send using HTTP the change events to my Kafka topic. And then what I've done now in this last demo is configured a connector that will respond to messages on that topic and then push them into some external system. And for this one, I'm using Slack. So what I'll do is I'll hit commit, and hopefully what you'll see is a message appear. There we go. A message has appeared in Slack, and it's using that template you saw me type, new commit with the commit ID and my username. And I can just confirm, yeah, that was B19B45. That is the right commit ID.